Week 13 Waiver Wire and Thanksgiving Player Props edition of the Stephie Small Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. Gear up for the holidays at the SGPN merch store. The perfect gift for the DGen in your life. Promo code HOLIDAY for 25% off everything, even a Stephie Small Show snapback hat. Let's yap.
Stephie tugs balls, betting it all on the power bottom false top, drop the football. Like hopes they've been teasing, they're missing the fall season. ACL twisted, bank account freezing, but Smalls cut the shots like some more reading. Leaderboard rising while the slot machine's ringing. She's slinging player stats like Nostradamus. $100 bills raining down upon us.
What is up, you little turkeys? This is the last show for this week because it is Thanksgiving week. We're going to talk Thanksgiving player props, talk a little waiver wire week 13. And to help us do that is Sam Wagman. I have tons of nicknames. I held back that time. I did hold back that time. We know we love Sam, Footballguys, all the all the things. I did hold back on any nicknames.
I didn't know you knew my name, so it's impressive. That's impressive.
Surprise.
I didn't know you knew my name, so.
Surprise.
But it is Thanksgiving. We have tons of stuff to talk about, but words are hard, but we're gonna get through it.
Words are always hard. Yeah, they are hard, especially on a Tuesday before the holiday. Let's just get into some fantasy football, waiver wire, pump and dump, yada yada. Devin Neal is going to be the name that you see everywhere this week. Alvin Kamara injured. I get it. I mean, I have bid on him in some places. I think, again, this is one of those brat things where he's the most popular guy that you're going to see this week.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Manungai is another guy right up there for me, but Neal is obviously – Manungai should be off waivers in most leagues at this point, but Neal is definitely going to be the guy for them. I don't know if it means much. They've all looked so bad running the football down there in New Orleans. Taysom Hill is averaging like 2 yards a carry. There must be something written into his contract that he needs to be used at least 8 to 10 times a game. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, you can pick Neal up, but he's got to fall into the end zone to give you any value. He's not really going to do much. He'll catch the ball.
He's getting receiving work, and that's probably where I think maybe there's a little bit more interest for like myself. He was playing 90% of the snaps when Kamara went down. 7 targets, 5 receptions, 43 yards. So I think that's a little bit interesting, but again, the Saints are not interesting to me.
Yeah, I think
Johnson's interesting to me, like moving, but like a lot of other things over there are not interesting to me.
Yeah, it's just kind of basically a shit show over there. I don't know if anything is fantasy relevant over there. Trey Benson should be back this week. Okay. If he's out there on waiver wires, I know a lot of people got fed up waiting for him, dropped him to waivers, freed up an IR spot if they needed to. He's out there. That should be interesting on the running back front. And then Dillon Sampson's kind of intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
Decent schedule coming up down the stretch. Lots of tight games where the Browns are going to look to run the football.
Sure.
Kind of splitting a little bit of time with Quinshon Judkins there, handling some receiving work. We know Judkins isn't a receiving back, so.
Sure. I'm trying to think of what I did to try to help people and be more realistic. I did see that Jaden Higgins again. I've been saying this every week. Like, he was available in 2 leagues for me where I have injured players and I have the available space. He's only rostered in 18% of ESPN leagues. Like, he's been the second most targeted on the team the last 3 games with a 22% target share. It's the thing is, like, how much of this is also Mills? What is this going to look like when Stroud? It's like, I don't know that this is like a very exciting option. Like, don't expect to be getting crazy production, but we do see these rookies pop off towards the end of the season. So he's been a top 30 fantasy wide receiver since week 8. There's things to like. If you have the spot to do it, I still think if he's available, he is an option to look at.
Yeah, 100%. The Texans are weird. Like, are they a fancy version of the Saints? Like, they're very flashy on paper. They have a
Their
lot of
running game is better.
nice things. You have, an Alvin Kamara and Woody Marks who kind of does a lot but doesn't do a lot. You have a Chris Olave and Nico Collins who does a lot but again doesn't do a lot right now. So like it's kind of weird down there in Houston. They should be using their rookies a lot more than they are. They're just not. I have no idea.
And that's
I would hope so.
I don't know.
I
maybe.
would hope so.
I mean,
Wouldn't you want to see? Wouldn't you want to see a wide receiving core of all Iowa State players? That's so fun.
Yeah, no, it is fun. I agree with you. Another guy, I can't believe I found him on one of my waivers, but this is. Listen, I'm not going to throw shots at one of my leagues. If you guys watch the show, I'm not. Whatever, you guys are going to know because I did try to pick him up. Brenton Strange was available, so he must have gotten dropped by a league member. If that did happen. He led this team in receiving yards last week. His first game back on just 5 targets, caught all of them. He also played his fewest snaps all season. I expect that to go up. And then he has what? Top 10 easiest rest of season tight end schedule. So I think if he is there for some reason, depending on the league that you're in, I'm definitely going to be starting him most likely on a weekly basis in some of my leagues where I did put him on like an IR spot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, he's just such an easy play because he's so good and Trevor like he has a nice rapport with Trevor. I think that kind of went under the radar. He was really good last year for them. So that's an easy one. Back to the wide receivers. I think Shamari Dyke is probably the name. Him and one other receiver, but DK looks really good. 4th round rookie out of Florida. That's the only reason I knew who he was because I watched him last year. But yeah. He's fun. He's fun, and he's been playing a lot better than any other Titans receiver. And all of a sudden, Cam Ward is starting to look kind of good. So DK is rostered 1% of NFL leagues. Andre Iosivas is going to be a nice spot start for this week and possibly next week, depending on Tee Higgins' health. Gets a nice matchup against the Ravens, in which they're going to have to throw a lot. Joey B back. Yeah. So I think him and Iosivas are probably my 2 top guys for the week.
Also, last week, I'm in a very sassy mood today. And whoever commented, when I said in very, very deep leagues, I'm talking deep, deep leagues, I said I didn't think that Isaiah Hodgins was an awful pickup if you're talking about these slim picking leagues. And I forgot what the little nasty comment was, but whoever told me, to stick to makeup, that's what it was. Fuck you, because he has had 7 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown. So that's more than a lot of receivers and skill position can say on the New York Giants. You can kind of go fuck yourself, but I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. But it wasn't a bad call out. It's just that in these deep leagues, sometimes you see it's impossible, especially these 100%. Deep dynasty leagues. So Hodgins is someone that was probably available in those leagues because he's been sitting on a practice squad. So I'm not telling you you're going to get massive production week to week from him, but the New York Giants are a team that if you look at their last four games, and we've talked about this, they have a lighter schedule at the tail end there.
Yep. Yeah, I think Hodgins is a guy that made sense. I think John Mechie wasn't a bad pick last week. These are guys like we're deep in the season.
Yeah.
These are guys that have, came up off of practice squads. They've been priority pickups, priority practice squad elevations for these teams, and that shows something. Yeah. So it's very easy to find stuff. You just have to basically
go into things with an open mind and realize that yes, you're not finding like some rare wide receiver one on your fucking waiver wires this deep into the season.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Hats off to you.
God bless you.
And then Darren Waller, if for some reason, he probably I saw him on a couple waivers. They do have a pretty good schedule as far as the rest.
Are they bringing him back? I didn't see
that. They opened the window, so it depends on what your roster looks like, obviously. But anyone else you want to mention fantasy wise?
If for some reason Omari and Hampton was dropped in your league, please pick him up ASAP.
And also, let him get me to that league.
I have one league where he was dropped.
Chris Rodriguez is another one if he's still available too. He's a good option, but other than that, Yeah.
Still
Other than
sucks.
that, listen, waivers gets weird. We're deep into the season. Not a lot to like write home about here.
Streaming defenses is probably the Chargers this week. Chargers or the Falcons for me.
Okay.
Maybe the Jaguars. Jaguars too. They're
Okay.
fun.
All right. I like it. Before we talk about some Thanksgiving player props, we are also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. I'm going to jump to this Rhythm ad because I'm going to skip over the underdog one, but Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and now they have the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Rhythm this week likes Mr. Xavier Worthy as a smart signal to go over 36.5 receiving yards, -114. Rhythm predicts him to have somewhere around 54.2 with a win probability of 71.2%. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN. We got 3 games on the Thanksgiving slate, Turkey Day slate. They're good. They should be good games, which is fun. Like they shouldn't be, they should be solid games. The first one up, Green Bay is headed to Detroit. Detroit is 2.5-point home favorites. Initial thoughts in this game, favorite prop you have. I've quite a few things in this game compared to the other ones, I guess.
I do like a few things in this game. This is going to be a game that's weird for me because I'm waiting to see what happens with Josh Jacobs. I'm assuming he's playing. I bet his touchdown before it jumped.
Okay.
It's now at -130. I took it at -115 just because I do think he's going to play.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a spot where they don't want Jordan Love throwing that much. He's got to separate his shoulder. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't think Jaden Reed comes back this week. I'm not quite sure if he's. I know they opened his practice window, but I don't know if he's going to come back yet. He still was working off the Jones fracture and a couple other things. So I think for that's going to be really interesting. But I did take Jordan Love under 19.5 completions in this game.
Okay.
He's hit it in 7 of his 11 games. Like I said, he's got the separated left shoulder. We kind of saw this with Baker a couple nights ago. He was wearing a sling for the whole second half of that game. And I feel like maybe he didn't separate his shoulder, but he hurt his left shoulder really badly, enough to where on that Hail Mary to end the half, there was nothing in it. And he clearly was like in a lot of pain. So, when you go to throw as a quarterback, you have to use some of the left side of your body. If you have a separated shoulder and you have no movement there, that's going to be something they don't want him to throw a lot to. So I think, for Love, this is going to be a spot where he's going to take care of the ball. He's going to rely on his running backs, Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson. The Lions allow the 8th fewest completions per game this season as well, under 19 for them to allow 18.7 per game. And then in the first game of the season where these two teams met, Love was 16 of 22. So there is some nice precedent here. I think this could be a game that we kind of see him just take a step back a little bit.
Okay, so with that, because I have the notes on it, but my intention was not to actually give it out. But here you talk about it now, it kind of makes me want to give it out a little bit. Like now, Detroit has faced second most rush attempts versus opposing quarterbacks in the league. He's had double-digit rushing yards 7 of the last 10, likely due to pressure entirely. And then also if we're dealing with maybe a little bit of injury going on, maybe he's going to rely on his feet. Part of me kind of likes the longest rush over 8.5 -105 because he tends to go over that if he does use his feet.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't get there, but you guys might see me put that on a card before the game starts.
It's a nice scramble. I think this is a game, like, I don't think this is going to be like week one. Week one, we saw the Packers absolutely shut Detroit down. They looked awful. But this is a tough matchup for them. I mean, you and I have talked about how good this Green Bay defense actually is. We saw them kind of shut down the Philly offense. We've seen them shut down a few offenses. They made JJ McCarthy look worse than he actually is last week.
Are we
really,
sure?
really bad.
Are we positive? I don't know. It's up for debate.
Maybe he's just really bad, but maybe they're just really good. Like you get a lot of things that are good about this Green Bay team, and the only real weakness they have is at a position where the Lions are starting a backup at tight end. So that's kind of going to be really interesting for me to watch. I think if we get a healthy Jacobs, I do think we kind of see the Green Bay kind of play ball control. I do think this is a game that stays under. I don't think there are a lot of points scored in this game. I think Goff has a much easier time throwing the ball than he did the first time around. I think Jameson Williams, now that everyone is off Jameson Williams, we're all pissed at him again.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm not fucking doing it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing it. That's for you guys. That's not.
Just
I'm
messenger.
Just saying. I'm still upset because I know what's going to happen this week. I know. But it's because it's the week that I'm going to go on it. I'm not doing it. You did bring up Brock Wright, or essentially alluded to it. Yep. Packers do give up 8th most catches to the opposing tight end. They're averaging like they're giving up 46.5-ish per game. No Laporta. He had 11 targets last 2 weeks. Do you have any interest in any of these numbers? His receiving is set at 23.5, minus 108 to the over. Receptions is 2.5, minus 127 to the over, and his longest is 12.5, minus 110. And I like my brain obviously goes like I look right towards the longest, but does which of those three, if any, interest you at all?
If I had to go with one, I think it would probably be the longest because I think he gets a chance to have something in the 18 to 24 yard range. Yeah. Where Green Bay has kind of had a little bit of a lapse with their linebackers this season. Sure. That's the only thing. But I don't know. We haven't seen them throw enough to Wright with Laporta out that I'm that interested in this line. Like that's unfortunately is the issue.
He went over it a few times even with Laporta there. So I think the longest is that might be the only direction that I go with this. As far as Lions go, Go ahead. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the thunder here for a second. I used to give out every single week Jahmyr Gibbs longest reception. He got off to a slow start with this year. I like his receiving yards and his longest reception this week. 27.5. The receiving yards is set at over minus 114, and then his longest receptions 12.5 at minus 110. His longest has gone over 4 of the last 5. Basically, if he goes over one, he goes over the other. That's just how this works with him. Green Bay is allowing an average of like 28 receiving yards per game this season to opposing running backs. But like the last 3 weeks, we saw them allow 40 plus receiving yards to both Tyrone Tracy and Saquon Barkley. And Aaron Jones still had 3 receptions. He just only converted it to 16 yards here. So I think both of these numbers are very much in play. He's gone over his receiving yards as well for the last 5. Like I said, when he's going over one, he's going over the other. And 7 out of 11 games this season. So you look at what these guys have done. I mean, even Shipley had 2 receptions when your squad played them. So I think both these numbers are live. I'll let people use their discretion at what they like more. I like both of them.
I love that you won't even say the Eagles' name.
Your team, whatever they are.
I think the play is Gibbs' receptions 4.5.
So?
You're getting plus money. You're getting plus money on it.
Are you?
I'm seeing plus 105 at Hard Rock for me at least. I'm sure there's possibly better numbers out there as well. I think that's a play. They do give up the 8th most receptions per game to running backs as well. So, if this is a spot where we think that the Packers kind of, get around and play ball control and try and keep everything in front of them, it's definitely reliable that Jared Goff will dump off. He'll check down. He'll get Gibbs out in space. So that would definitely be something I look at there too.
Anything else from this game that you want to mention?
I have something for Stephception, but I'll leave it for that.
Honestly, we could just do them right now because I had 2 and I feel like I'm going to end up mentioning them. They're within all my bets here anyways. I have Romeo Doubs to go over his longest reception, 19.5 minus 112. I watched the Giants game last week. I think Romeo Doubs can go over 19.5, and he's gone over this quite a few weeks this year.
Yeah, I think Christian Watson goes over his as well. I took 24.
Last 2 weeks, though, he didn't, correct?
Well, he did it in the first three. He did in the first 3 games that he played.
That's very fair.
I mean, again, like I think a lot of things play into Love's shoulder as well, and kind of what strategy. I think we'll find out really quickly what kind of strategy the Packers want to go with here. But if they get into a bad spot, I mean, they're going to throw at least one shot down the field. I think Love is always good for at least one shot down the field. It's usually to Watson.
Yeah.
So
since he's been back 100%.
Yeah. And, I think also a little bit will determine on Matthew Golden, because I think Golden being out the last couple of weeks has kind of screwed up the spacing for their offense as well. Sure. And when he plays, it's 3-0. So yeah, it's 3-3. This is 3-3 in his career versus Detroit, but the last 2 times have each come while playing at the Lions Stadium. So there's something to be said about playing indoors, and they are indoors again for this one. So there's something there.
Absolutely. Anything else this game before we move on to the the dirty Dallas Cowboys that beat your Eagles? What the hell was that about, huh?
We always split. We always split with Dallas. I can't, we don't always split with Dallas, but I mean, Kevin Petula is a domestic terrorist. I hope someone gets him up in an alley. And and for the people that are saying Sirianni should call plays, it ain't much better, man. We've seen it. It ain't much better. So they'll fire him. They'll get rid of Petula. This cost him his job, unfortunately. He could have just had a very cushy run as our pass game coordinator, but no, he had to step up and call plays. It's going to cost him his job. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
They're just doing some indiscriminate Italian shouting over in that building. That's Petullo and Sirianni and Big Dom are all running around screaming indiscriminately. So they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see everyone in January when it matters.
Okay. 4:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Kansas City road favorites -3.5 headed to the disgusting Jerry World. Casey really, I don't know. They really can't lose this game. They're not in a good spot where losing this game is going to fare well for them. Cowboys just did a little dump the Gatorade action, beating the Eagles in that 21-0 comeback. Cowboys' second straight win. Like, I don't know. If the Cowboys win, this will be their 3rd straight on Thanksgiving and first over a non-divisional opponent since 2013.
Yeah, so Chiefs kind of need it here. Chiefs definitely need it. They drop to under 50% to make the playoffs if they lose this game. And they rise to 77%, I think it was, if they win. So this is a spot where, like, these are the kind of games that the Chiefs win, though. The games where their backs are, like, hypothetically against the wall, need to win. They're going into hostile territory. This is a spot where I think the Chiefs are really, really good. And their defense will show up. If their defense is at all legitimate, we will see it in this game.
And don't you feel like this is just a classic? This happened last year with the Chiefs, where they're just not covering. They're not covering the spreads, and but they're still pulling out the wins. This is just what we're going to probably see for the next couple of weeks. But I think they will get right back to where the Chiefs are supposed to be, because they're more efficient than they were last year on both sides of the ball, actually, but their record doesn't say that. And it was the opposite last year, where their record was great, but the production was not where it should be.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of things, but offensive line, a lot of teams that it looked really good last year, my Eagles included, have had issues on the offensive line, and the Chiefs aren't immune to that. They're not going to have Trey Smith for this game. You're going to have Mike Caliendo in there again, and that looked really bad last week.
Sure.
And so I think that's going to be something to pay really close attention to is this Cowboys kind of upgraded pass rush against Patrick Mahomes. And I mean, that'll lead right into my first prop.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
We're going to start it off with Mahomes to go over 23.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his longest rush is. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I was kind of panicked putting this in before the show started.
Yeah.
And didn't get a chance to look at the longest rush. I would imagine it's somewhere around the 11.5 mark.
I can find it for you while you do a little spiel.
But I mean, this is 7-4 this season, over in 7 of 11 games. The Cowboys allow the third most rushing yards per game to quarterback. And the Chiefs' issues in pass protection, Mahomes is not afraid to run. He's one of those like 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the NFL that if he doesn't see something and he feels it closing in, he's just going to take off running and he will find a lane every single time. And the Cowboys will be playing a lot of zone, but I don't know, and they should have a spy on him, but I just don't know if they're going to be right there to defend Mahomes on the scramble there, because they're going to be defending against the deep ball a lot here. That's what Kansas City makes you do. They defend against the deep ball, and then when it's not there, Mahomes just takes off running. He has an entire open field because everyone is already downfield. Yeah. So I think this is a really good spot. I think Dallas's pass rush is certifiably good now. Obviously they had a lot of defensive issues, the first several weeks of the season, but since the trade deadline, since picking up Quinnen Williams, and I can't remember who else they picked up.
It's been 2 games, and I'm actually not I'm gonna give them credit, but I'm not going to totally ignore how they've looked. I understand, I get it, but I'm not, and that's why me being a hater, and I don't really care, but like, I do. Yes, they looked so much better, but I'm not ready to be like this.
Yes, thank you, David.
How it looks. I want to see how it looks like for at least like another game here.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The Chiefs are as good a whatever it is,
yeah, whatever you want.
A barometer.
Yeah.
As good a barometer as we're gonna get there.
I'm like, what word are you thinking of?
There's that med school education there. I buy it. Yeah, I definitely think like this is a good test for the Chiefs to like see where they are in terms. Isaiah Pacheco is back for this game as well. That should be really interesting to see what goes on there. But I do think Mahomes is going to have to put things on his shoulder. He always does here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this will be one of the ways he does.
Absolutely. And yeah, Dallas allowing the most rushing attempts to the opposing quarterback. So also a little tidbit there. You kind of led me into my first prop. I like Mahomes' longest completion over 36.5 -118.
Love that.
I'm going to give Dallas their credit, like we just said. But I'm totally not going to ignore the amount of yards that they've given up through the air this season. That's something I'm not going to ignore. I think the 36.5 here, the over -118, he's going over this 5 straight. You're in a dome. This ball could be going to anyone. I'll talk a little bit later about which side I like better for the longest reception. You could probably just throw a dart and decide. It could just be all the pass catchers too. So when I feel like that as well, I tend to go with the longest completion for the quarterback. So this 36.5 is a nice number.
Yeah. Since the show has started, by the way, Mahomes has dropped to 21.5 at spots rushing, which is wild to me, I'm going to go put more money on that after the show.
Okay. His longest is 11.5. I'd like to see I only see one book hanging his attempts. I'd actually be interested to see his attempts when they get there. I see Bet Rivers has a 12.5 for his longest rush.
An interesting one to me is the other side, Dak running as well.
I know. I thought about that.
Saw that against the Eagles. He scrambled for a touchdown there. The Chiefs allowed the 3rd most attempts to the quarterback position and the 6th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks. So another nice side there as well.
I kind of talked about this yesterday. I don't fucking like that Dallas is feeling themselves right now. Like, I don't fucking like that.
We fucking hate that.
I fucking hate that, actually. I'm not enjoying the fact that they're, like, getting in a groove. Can you guys fucking not? Because it was way more fun when you were not doing that. I don't like this. So I actually need the Chiefs to take care of business so we can just chill with that. But they are getting into a groove, and some of that comes with the way that Dak has played I've talked. Doesn't matter. He's played great
MVP level.
Fantastic
MVP
this year.
level.
And again, like he is willing to use big hater energy today. I told you guys I have an attitude problem today, and I'm not willing to fix it
Today.
But yes, I like the Dallas. Dallas, the Dak rushing. I did take a look. I'm not gonna give it out officially.
For the birds and saying let's go Cowboys. There's something there. There's something there. There's a commenter whose name is For the Birds, and he said let's go Cowboys. There's something to unpack there with that username.
It's deeply
sick.
Sick.
That comment.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's deeply sick.
There's something to unpack there, man. Therapy. All I gotta say.
Please, gosh. Okay, I'll just give it out now before. Wow, do I really have nothing? I looked at Jake Ferguson stuff. I couldn't.
Wait, you don't like anything else for this game?
No, I do.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, I'm going to give the Xavier Worthy longest reception out because it's sitting at 17.5 minus 118. He's gone over 3 of the last 4. And I just think that this is 17.5 is a lovely number.
It's a good number. It's a good number. I do think Ferguson also does well in this game.
I know.
Kind of have to like. That's the I did a deep dive into that Chiefs Colts game last week because it was just such a fun defensive like masterpiece.
Sure.
And there was nothing there. The Chiefs just don't allow anything. It's so tough to get yards on. It's so tough to get yards on them.
Tyler Warren had a good game against them though, right?
Yeah, that's it.
It was fine. Right?
Yeah. Very average. A very average game.
5 receptions, 45 yards. All right. Yeah.
Very average.
I probably looked at Jake Ferguson's receptions just off the top of my head. Maybe he doesn't tend to go over his longest. So that
he's very
not someone that does that often. So
he scores.
He does score. That's true. That's fair.
I do think like on the alt side, I think I love Rashee Rice in this. I love the matchup. I love the wide receiver cornerback matchup for him there. I think, getting him, kind of small ladder up to 100 at plus 210 is not a terrible idea. I think the deep ball has to be in play. The deep ball is going to be in play, which is why I think you're onto something with the Xavier Worthy line. I'm just scared because every time I bet on Xavier Worthy, he does not hit, so I'm going to save you.
I took a break from him, and I think I'm willing to be in the holiday spirit and give him another chance.
Okay. I can go with that. I have a scary last bet for this game. Scary.
My next 2 are pretty scary too.
I'm gonna take the under on George Pickens receiving yards.
Okay, is it because I did think about it, and I think that his overs are going to be some of the most bet, the most bet prop this weekend.
That's why.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm actually terrified putting it in, but like 73.5. Like I've never seen George Pickens within 15 yards of that in ever. I know he's done it in his last like 7 games in a row. I know he's only hit it, I know this is only missed in 4 games, but the Chiefs are 9-2 to the under of allowing wide receiver 2s more than this yardage. I know it's a big number, so you're gonna get a nice cherry pick stat there. I love that about this stat.
We can do whatever we want. Thank you.
Yeah,
everyone does it all fucking day on Twitter. If I want to cherry pick, you're gonna sit here and let me cherry pick.
David points out something nice. He's been limited in practice. He's got some knee and ankle issue. Did I just say issues? Injuries.
Words are hard. We did make that note earlier. Yeah.
Injuries. I don't think Pickens is not wide receiver 1. They're paying CeeDee Lamb $30 million a year. He's not wide receiver 1. Sorry. That's just how things work.
I also think CeeDee was very upset on the sideline a little bit.
Yeah.
So does that
squeaky
mean
wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Squeaky wheel. Let Spags throw bracket coverage on Pickens all game. Maybe Vic Fangio will learn something about how to throw a coverage out there. Maybe that'll work out. But Yeah, I think that Pickens might this could be a wake up call. This is a
Is
defense.
this a good like? Could we do like one of these like correlations where we take like his over longest and then under? It's his longest is probably a ridiculous number. 25.
His longest is definitely like 23.5 or something.
It's 25.5.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Okay, I might have to play around with that. These numbers are not out yet. I think this has to do with Pacheco. Is he coming back, or what is going on?
I have Pacheco numbers.
Okay, so he's coming back. So I don't know why.
Yeah,
And
I have 33.5. I have 33.5 for Pacheco, 32.5 for Hunt.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about. I'm looking on the receiving yards side. I don't know.
I don't have that.
Where I'm going to get. I'm going to be taking a look at both. And not Isaiah. I'm going to be looking at Smith and Hunt receiving yards here. They've been getting the work. Dallas allowing third most receiving yards and fourth most receptions to the opposing running back. So when I do see those up, I'll shoot out a tweet. But I feel like we're going to get a nice line on those.
I do as well. Like something in the 7s or 8s.
Yeah.
Both of them.
So one of them is going to have like
one of them will hit
number.
Yeah. One of them's going to hit.
Take it.
Well, one of them is going to hit. We're just going to have to like close our eyes and pick the right one.
And we're probably going to have the other one.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. 100%.
Unless it's Rashard Smith, maybe that'll just work out. But yeah.
All right. Any final prop bets, thoughts on this game?
I don't know. Like this line is so weird. This line is so weird. There's no reason that the Chiefs should only be 3-point favorites, even at Jerry World. This doesn't feel like a game that goes anywhere close to 52.5. Is that just me? Like, why does this feel like a very similar game to last week against the Colts?
It feels like every Cowboys game goes over though.
The Eagles game literally went under last week.
Did it? I don't know why. Maybe it's a me thing. That maybe this is why. I don't know. I'm staying away from the total in this game. There's a 0% chance of touching the total in this game.
Okay. Did I black out? Did I black out and that game went over last week?
I don't know. I don't even know I don't remember what the total was.
I think it was. I don't even know, but I think it was 20.
If you think I was fucking locked into the Eagles Cowboys game pre the game,
you definitely were. You were hate watching.
I was watching it, but I didn't lock in like pre-game. I wasn't like actively betting on these teams.
It's fair.
I told you I'm in hater mode lately. I don't know what happened. I don't know who pissed in my cereal.
Yeah, hate watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
Big hate watch.
If you have not hit the like button, please do that. Hit subscribe, rate, review. If you're listening to the podcast, I'll do an underdog slip at the end here. But let's talk about this final game, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, where I will be. I can't wait to go back. Cincinnati headed to Baltimore. Let me double check, make sure I have an updated number. It was -7 before I jumped on here.
Still is.
Okay, so Burrow is not playing?
Excuse me?
Is he playing? He's playing? Is that like confirmed?
I was assumed unless his appendix exploded between now and Thursday that he was going to play.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're just gonna roll with that then.
He put up the LeBron jersey pick, you know the famous Burrow in the LeBron jersey pick that basically just says I'm back. Yeah. He put up that pick. So I just assumed that.
That gives me the ick. I'm gonna be honest. That's icky. Oh, I don't like that.
God forbid a guy just wants to, God forbid, you know what? Women are very hard to please. Very hard to please.
Sick. He's -109 to throw an interception. I might get there with that. What's your first prop for this game?
My first prop is going to be Chase Brown over 18.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I have it too.
2024, Burrow had the 4th most checkdowns. Not a high percentage, but he threw a ton of them. He threw like 90 checkdowns last year. They just all go to Chase Brown these days. Everything goes to Chase Brown. Over in 6 of 11 games this season. First game back for Burrow means things could be a little bit quick for him. I think with this Ravens defense getting healthier, better pass rush, I think we kind of see, kind of a little bit of a slower roll, and that could mean some dump offs and check downs for Chase Brown there. So he's been really good with this. I think he goes over that as well.
It might have moved to 19.5. There's an 18.5 before I got in this show. Trevor, I see you in the chat though.
Yeah, the Bengals these are taken from earlier today.
I did see it right before, but it might have moved since I jumped on because we've been on for 40 minutes now. I agree with you. Bengals O-line can't block worth shit. See a lot of checkdowns. Kind of the 23 yards and 4 straight. I actually really like his longest reception over 9.5 minus 130. That's also gone over 4 straight. I mean, it's just alluding to everything that you've said. The Ravens are still giving up the 7th most receiving yards to the opposing running back. So, they're still giving up the yards there. Higgins is out. Breece Hall had fucking 75 receiving yards last week against his team. So I do like the look there. I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Brown goes under his rushing yards. I did not take a look at what that number is, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen.
57. I think I saw 57.5 there. Right. I do like his rushing attempts under 15 or 16.5 rushing attempts. I think he's only hit that 3 or 4 times all season.
All right.
That could be a really nice one.
What else are you looking at this game?
For me, I took an under on this game. I took a Lamar under. I took his rushing under 23.5.
He has not been rushing.
It's really weird. So through last 3 weeks, he has started the week with a knee injury, an ankle injury, and now he's got a toe injury. And he's returned to practice all 3 days. But it's part of the public record. So these injuries just aren't, they're not fugazi. This isn't Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. It's fugazi. This is not that. These things exist. This man, has had 16 different injuries this year. He's hurt. He is banged up, and he is not playing well. Well, he is not playing well. So unless I see something else, unless I see a Lamar that passes for 280 and 4 touchdowns, I don't buy it. So I think that he goes under 23.5 rushing yards. He's been under in 3 of his last 4 games. He's just not running the ball. Like you said, he's only averaging 5 carries a game. That's not normal for Lamar.
Yeah. And that kind of leads into mine where, again, Lamar, clearly there's something lingering going on, whether that's more than one injury, I don't know what it is. I don't know, toe, elbow, butt. Who knows? I don't know what the fuck it is. It's something. He doesn't look right. And with that, Derrick Henry hasn't been super effective lately, but I think he's going to go over this 17.5 rush attempts at minus 125. He's carried the ball 19 times or more in 5 of the last 6. I think that takes a little bit off of Lamar too. So I like him to go over the 17.5 rush attempts. I saw someone mention Mark Andrews. We know I say it every single week. The Bengals are bad at fucking everything on defense. It's not just against the tight ends, but they are very much cottage cheese. Booty cheeks versus the tight end. Mark Andrews has 9 more red zone targets than any other tight end on this roster with 13. I like the plus 115 to get into the end zone this week. Yeah. And I think the way I decided I'm going to play this is I'm going to take likely over his receiving yards instead. I realize he does not go over this that much. I get it. But his number is lower than Andrews, and they basically run the same amount of routes. Andrews is running 21.2, Likely 20.7. So right here, this is just, they're on the field base. They're basically doing the same amount of routes, doing the same type of thing. I like the 24.5. I think Andrews is sitting at 30 something. So that's the reason why I'm playing that.
Andrews is at 40.
Yeah. So exactly. 24.5 against a team.
Why is it so high?
Sucks an egg against tight ends.
Why is it so high?
But they don't. I see the vision that you guys. I got the vision. I just think I like this 24.5, and I like Andrews to get into the end zone. That's what I'm playing.
I want to have a round table here because I saw this right before the show went up, and I just had enough time to write down some notes about it. What are your thoughts on Mike Gesicki for this game? because
I mean, I
for
can't
some
stand
reason
him.
his lines are so weird. 16.5 longest reception. He hasn't hit that in a single game.
They have too much going on over there, but is that maybe that's in part to? I don't have an answer.
Not a single one. Like I don't think that with Tee Higgins out, you're going to see Gesicki run that many more routes than he already was. He already was the top tight end. He already was. He had 6. He had 6 targets last week, but he had goose egg the week before, and he had 5 targets the week before that. So like it's not like he wasn't used before. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to me.
Feels like a good way. It seems like a good stay away. I feel like I'd have to look into it more, but I don't know that there's much to unfold.
Okay. All right.
He's just not the one I bet on. His gritty fucked me up. Like I can't. That gritty, like I'm fucking scarred, and I don't want to bet on him. It's strictly, it's out of principle.
Okay. I get it. Okay.
I will say though. I didn't see a number yet. Speaking of tight ends, Charlie Kolar, he will find his way into a parlay with his longest reception. He's had 10 plus yard catch in I think like 5 games this season. And it's again, nice spot, nice situation with the Bengals. And I think that number will probably be somewhere at like 9.5, 10.5, something like that for his longest reception. That probably will not be there until closer to the game. But I could see him finding his way into a parlay just because of what this team does against.
I like that. I'm taking the chalkiest play on the board.
Okay.
I am literally the most public of public square bettors in the world.
Oh God.
Jamar Chase, over 25.5 longest. I think it's already moved.
He doesn't really go over it though.
I know.
Did you notice that?
I know.
That pisses me off.
I noticed.
It's
3 of 10 on the season.
It's post spit gate. We have to take him post spit gate.
Yeah,
some things you have to do. This is required by the Is that listen? We have to. We can't not. I almost think I want to look at what the 30 plus is almost.
I don't even know if it's going to be that much worth it, but Ravens have allowed a 26-yard catch in 9 of 11 games this season. 12 different wide receivers. 12. So that's a lot. That's more than one a game. Man coverage wise, this is a great matchup. Obviously, Jamar Chase is right up there. He's not normally the Bengals man coverage guy, but he can play off of it just as well as anybody else. Still 30% target share versus man coverage. Ravens still running the 6th most man coverage in the NFL, and I'm kind of paying close attention to Kyle Hamilton. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? That might make a big swing to either side of whether this happens or not. So,
all right. No Higgins too. I don't listen.
No Higgins.
I don't have anything else. I think for this game. Do you?
I don't have anything else for this game specifically. I wanted to kind of talk about whether Lamar Jackson is kind of just dead in this game. If any other pass catches are worth anything.
I didn't see much out there is the problem. At least
you have receiving lines for like Justice Hill, Derrick Henry, Bateman, guys like that.
Well, I did. If I can get a receiving, and I this is a good time for me to give out my underdog slip because I like Derrick Henry's receiving yards quite a bit. I just I don't see a sports book with it out. But underdog, this is in my slip. Derrick Henry higher 5.5 receiving yards, as well as Rashee Rice higher 15 fantasy points. Jordan Love higher 37.5 longest completion. That gets you 6x your monies. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code SMALLS. But that is the only place I saw with any form of Derrick Henry there. 5.5 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I have that at Hard Rock. I'm probably going to take it.
Oh, really? Is it 5.5?
Yeah, minus 110.
For what okay. I mean, that's just, no.
Easy.
I love that. That might be my favorite bet on the board.
Easy. But other than that, like these are actually going to be like very, very fun games. I
They
think
fucking
these are gonna be
better.
fun games.
We deserve it.
I hope they're going to be fun games. I mean, we have a 49, a 52, and a 52 in terms of total. So,
we deserve
and then Friday we get Eagles Bears, and that'll be really fun. That'll be really fun. You'll have to call in a wellness check for me if we lose that game.
I will call one in for you, 100%. Don't you worry, I got your back. If you lose that game, that's oh shit. Oh shit!
Yeah, that'll be a problem. That'll be a problem.
Any final thoughts on this sleep before I wrap up and get us out of here?
No, I think we're all set.
Yeah.
I think we're all set. We got a few fun games. Fun games for
Absolutely.
this one. I hope they're good. They're good.
Follow me on Twitter. Obviously, follow Sam on Twitter. Stripper name X. I will post a video for the Sunday slate with favorite props, but this will be the final episode for this week. Back next Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Rate, review the pod, like, subscribe, do all the things. Sam, let the people know where they can find you, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
You can find me on Twitter yelling about everything else at Swagman95.
Yeah.
All of my stuff over at Football Guys and Prize Picks.
Love it.
Fun things.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Stephie Small Show, sports gambling. Play some bets on winners and catastrophe. If you want to know where to put the money, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is the place to be.